Let me see if I can send a link for this. Share. Copy link. Oh, is it gonna stop the live if I... Am I still in it? I am. I knew. Hold on. Let me put this in Julie's Discord too, just in case. I think I also need my own Discord server, but I don't fucking know how to do that shit. You know what I can't stand is watching someone's live when they're just sitting there, not saying or doing anything, and they're just waiting for people. But then there's people in there, but then they're just watching like, just gonna wait until anyone shows up. You're like, bitch, we're here. Are we not good enough for you? We're here on time. Should we leave? Should we leave? Should we leave? I put this on like unlisted or whatever because I'm in my pajamas, but I don't really have anything particular to talk about. Hey, Nikki. If you rewatch the beginning of this is going to be hilarious. I'm just going to wait until more people come in. I was just chatting to myself saying I hate when people like sit there in a live. They're like, okay, we're just going to wait for more people. And like, there's like 10 people in there. You're like, are we not good enough for you? Like, what's going on? You can probably hear my dryer. What are you doing, dude? I was asking people about the Stranger Things. I feel like every time I talk, that's when my son's going to be very loud. Because my husband had, I guess there's a Stranger Things experience in Atlanta. And we have tickets, and we're going to make it a whole weekend. We haven't had a weekend to ourselves since, I think, before. We've had, like, date nights and stuff, but not, like, an overnight thing since, I think, before COVID. So it turned out that potentially that was going to be a weekend he had military duty. I was like, and I'm fairly positive my friends here don't watch Stranger Things because I know, why am I still friends with them? Like, they don't watch Handmaids, they don't watch Stranger Things, they're just, I don't know why I'm friends with them. I really don't. But, I wanted to go with people who appreciate it and also might know me a little because I have a feeling it's going to be like a haunted house type situation. And I actually do very poorly in those situations, even though I'm 40 something years old. Jump scares really, really, they really scare me. Annoyingly so. To the point where maybe I leave early from haunted houses. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Hey, Stacy. Are you in, well, you probably don't want to say online. Never mind. I think you're from Louisiana, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. I was just telling Nikki, I was trying to recruit anybody. It turns out it's a false alarm, but I'm going to a Stranger Things experience with my husband in Atlanta. we thought he wasn't going to be able to go, but he is. Oh, Arkansas. Have I ever been to Arkansas? I feel like I have. I feel like one of my family members lived there once. It's basically the same as Missouri, right? I've been there. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking Kansas, because Arkansas. No, I don't think I've been to Arkansas. I actually don't think I've been to Kansas. I've just been to Kansas City, Missouri, and other places in Missouri, but not Missouri. I don't really have anything of substance to talk about. It's talking to, I find it obnoxious to constantly say, my husband, but I don't want to say his name, you know? I don't want anybody looking up asshole, finding out who he is. So funny. We're talking about the article, I guess, that's floating around on the internet. Top part is more like Missouri. The further south, the more like Louisiana. Oh, okay. You almost sounded like you had a northern Louisiana accent, perhaps. Anyhow, I guess there's an article going around that some lady somewhere is warning parents about letting their kids watch Hocus Pocus 2 because the witches could be putting spells on your kids as they watch them. And I was sharing with him, because I grew up Southern Baptist, whatever. And he grew up in Canada. He hates when I say that. Not because he grew up in Canada. He grew up in the UP. To me, basically Canada. He lives so far up there. He's like, I'm not Canadian. But I was sharing with him how growing up, I believe, it's been a while since I was a kid, that it wasn't like demanded that you couldn't, if you went to church, you couldn't participate in Halloween, but it was heavily suggested. Like, you'd be kind of like, oh, you let your kid trick or treat? And you read the Bible? So I was saying how it progressed throughout the years, how at first everybody's like, no trick-or-treating. Then it was kind of more, okay, we can have a fall festival at our church, but you can only dress up as a Bible character. So my husband was like, so Judas? And we're cracking up. And I was like, yeah, you can go around, anybody want a kiss? Anybody want a kiss? And then it kind of went from there. I was like, so like you could literally dress up as Satan and it would be okay. And then I said, or I don't remember how many dudes or if it was a whole town, but the people who wanted to sleep with the angels, like, you know, homosexuals. And then the two chicks who slept with their dad, you could be them. It just kind of spiraled this morning and we were cracking ourselves up. I was very fond of being, you know, Judas. Anybody want a kiss? I thought it was funny. I cracked myself up. Yeah, I'm in my pajamas in my bed. And I'm sure there's ways to share this or whatever, but just in case I don't know, accidentally show part of my room that I don't want to. Sounds way worse than I mean it. I mean like my Dr. Pepper can sitting on my nightstand. I don't mean anything fun. There's a dog laying in my bed. It's not scandalous. It's just messy. My dog's not well, my dog can be messy. I don't know. I miss chatting and stuff. Wait, it had a doohickey madooger. Where'd the comment go? Oh, shit, I don't know. All messages are visible, except they're not. Oh, cool. There they are. You know, I feel as though YouTube has changed its requirements that allow you to go live from your phone. Hey, Lizzie. I'm not really talking about anything in particular. I'm just in my pajamas in my bed, talking about things that I've said that have made me laugh. So, being narcissistic as usual. But before, I was not able to go live from my phone, only my laptop. That's why I downloaded StreamYards or whatever. And because that's the only way I know how to have other people on my live is through StreamYard. I don't know how to do that, like have a link and invite people, or even if it's possible through just YouTube. So I think I've shared that I don't know why StreamYard, probably because I'm using a wrong account. Oh, thank you. Thank you. My phone is not recognizing my StreamYard account. And I've been on the go a lot lately, obviously, not right now, but I haven't gone live a lot when I wanted some drama to die down. And also, I didn't think I was still able to from my phone. And then the other day, I just happened to go on YouTube and see the go live button was there. I thought you had to have like 1,000 subscribers, but now it's letting me. So am I famous? Is that why? Is that why I'm allowed to go live now? I always found that weird too. Why can you go live from YouTube from a computer and not have 1,000 subscribers? But if you go, you can't do it through an app. It's the same damn account. But anyhow, yeah. So in like 2 weeks, I'm going to a Stranger Thing experience. I'm super excited, aka scared, because after the excitement died down, I'm like, wait, so this is gonna be like a haunted house. I am the most annoying person to take to a haunted house. I'm a grown woman and I am very ashamed. I know these things aren't real. I completely understand that. I know these actors cannot touch me. I understand that. My anxiety gets so bad at when someone's going to jump out at me that I have been known to have to leave a haunted house early. It's not something that I'm proud of, but I'm a punk. 8-year-olds can get through it. I can't. We're in a field one time, a part of a haunted house. I think the last one my husband was agreed to go with me. I was like, no more. This is stupid. No more. It was at the height of like, what's the dead people? You know, the zombies? The really big popular show, Undead, Ungrateful, anyway, those people. So, part of the haunted house was that you went out in an open field, roped off, cars were still around. It was very obvious. It was so cheesy, so campy. And like you had to survive the zombies, right? They like tagged you with a flashlight, okay? But they were like hidden behind little fake crates and fake whatever. I was almost in tears when this dude tried to like come at me and scare me. And I was like, stop, do not get any closer. And he was like, I'm sorry, like he broke character. This is so embarrassing because I was just so shaken up and afraid at that point. My nerves were shot. Like the jump, I think my face is actually starting to turn red now. It's so awesome. But my anxiety was just so high. I couldn't take any more jump scares. And we had to leave. I couldn't finish the whole thing. That annoying snoring and stuff is my dog, not my husband. This time. But how's everyone? I see that people are still being people. I've been more and more disappointed the more that I notice. You have bad anxiety too, Lizzie? Thank you. I just feel so dumb because, again, I'm a grown woman. I know these things aren't real. And it's not that I think that they're real. It's just the jump scares. Like, I can't handle it anymore. I can't handle it anymore. One or two, I'm good, but I don't watch movies like that in theaters because I have to, like, get up and pace around because I can't take the anticipation and, like, when is the jump scare gonna come? So basically, I understand if none of you want to talk to me because of how lame I am. But anyway, other than realizing that it's probably a haunted house, I'm super, super excited about the Stranger Things experience. Very much so. We were at a kid's birthday party at like this gem mining place a few weeks back. And this dude, it was at the party where like we'd done cake, ice cream in a little private room, and we were kind of going through the store looking at things and whatever. And this dude comes in. He looks like the main Dungeons and Dragon Hellfire Club character. And I was like, Stranger Things? He's like, no, but I get that a lot. I'm like, there is no way. You look just like him. It was probably him, wasn't it, in real life? And he came to Greenville, South Carolina. He was just trying to, I should have just followed him. I should have followed him. It was him. Dress up as his character, not on the movie set. Coming to a gem mining place. It was him. Man, I missed an opportunity. But, yeah. I am battling, that's the appropriate word for this, what costume I'm going to dress up as for Halloween, because I really want to do something Stranger Things, but it's last season of Handmaid's Tale, and only to my own delightment, I have progressed my Handmaid's costume throughout the years. Super subtle, nothing magical, didn't sew anything my own because I can't sew, no makeup, no nothing. Just like last year, I added a little Chicago Cubs baseball cap to my cloak. Only one person appreciated it. A lot of folks were like, why is Little Red Riding Hood wearing a baseball cap? And I'm like, you should probably just go back in your home in shame. Yeah, only one person called me June. But I really like the promo of Handmaid's Tale right now that has June like coming out of water. Her red cloak is kind of behind her a little bit, coming off, and she has like a white shirt on, you know, coming out of Gilead, blah, 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 no longer a handmaid, yada, yada, yada. But I don't know how to make that happen. I'm sure you could sew the cloak on to a white shirt, but if you weren't paying attention, I can't sew. Am I going to pay someone to do it? No, so I'm not even going to ask. Not because I don't wish to pay people, or pay people for their time and talent. Absolutely. I just don't feel like spending money on something I'm going to wear for one night. I don't know. Also not going to hot glue it because my stupid ass would try to hot glue it while it was on me, like a fitting, and I would burn myself. Sorry it's so shaky. But these are my problems I have right now. These are my concerns. So what do you think they're going to do? Do you think it's going to be like all in a building somewhere? You think it's going to be like an open field? Is the mind thing gonna, are they going to have all like, oh my God, you know what will be so freaking scary? What's his face? You know, the new dude? Vernon? I'm sure somebody will be dressed up like that. So, does anyone have any problems with that character? Because I do. Was he really around this whole time? Or did they just scramble and make something up? Because I kind of feel like they scrambled and made something up. I don't think this was their plot the whole time that we just didn't notice. I think they ran out of things to talk about. But I do think it's an amazing season. You don't watch it? God, why do I talk to you people? The scene with Sadie, I switched too. I switched from Handmaids to Stranger Things. I went back without informing anyone of my topic change. You should have a problem with it. It's awful. But the way they made the season, like all about conflicting thoughts, getting a text, you're welcome. Like watching her brother pass and not the conflicting feelings with that, and just how we all have I don't want to say a little bit of evil in us, but none of us have good intentions all the time. We're selfish. We think the wrong things sometimes. And I really like that about the season of Stranger Things and the season of Handmaid's Tale. To me, Handmaid's Tale has done a wonderful job at talking about the trauma that happens after traumatic experiences. This chick was freaking torn from her family, saw multiple people die, all the fun stuff, all the things, trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. She finally escapes to Canada, where my husband's from, and it's not just like you escape your abusers and then, hold on. What you need?
I was about to say that I needed your phone because I was gonna say I was trying to do something down the stairs, like make a video for Gracie in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Okay, in a few minutes when I'm finished, you can use it.
Okay.
All right?
Call my name when you're done.
Okay, I will. Once you get through a traumatic experience, that's great. You're out. You're survived. There's a whole bunch of shit that comes after that, right? And I really like and have been a little bit emotional about, I'm so horrible at character names, Luke, her actual real husband. His ability, the writing of his character to be able to stay. He has really cool boundaries of not tolerating June's abusive behavior toward him, but he also hasn't left, and he's a constant in her world so that she can heal. I think that's pretty cool. It's made me a bit emotional at times. Times in my life where, like, you know, that could have been appreciated. I'm not hinting at my husband for anything like this. Yes, Bubba? You okay? He's playing in the room beside me. I don't know. I just think as horrible the story is, as horrible and traumatic and horrific the show's events are, I really enjoyed the season's ability to show the aftermath of trauma. And it still hurts whenever I watch it to know that as, Jesus, I'm having a hard time with names this morning. The person who wrote Handmaid's Tale, you know, she wrote both the books, which I've never read, because I watched the series before I even knew a book existed, sadly. But, you know, she is, all the things she wrote about, she made sure that it was only things that humans have done to each other in history before. It's very sombering. And I think very needed. I don't know why it's needed. Maybe as those who don't learn from history tend to repeat it, but damn, we're repeating stuff. Okay, here's my little rant too. Why do Americans have such issue, or don't have an issue, with bringing up the horrific events of the Holocaust, but they cannot, will not, do not fight against the horrific events of enslaving people? I feel like we almost celebrate the ability to be able to talk about the horrific events of the Holocaust and how it was the wrong thing, and then we stepped in years later and did the right thing, but yet we can't admit and get defensive when people bring up that we did similar things to people. And then, like, there's a lady on TikTok. Maybe I'll find her after this and put her in the description. She lives in Mississippi and has recently discussed how in her town at noon every Saturday a siren goes off. And her grandfather was cutting grass in the yard one Saturday when it went off, and she was like, something like, did she say something? Doesn't matter. Not my story. We can find it and look at it. But he mentioned that he hates that noise and how it reminds him of all the hatred and everything. Hatred. That's so weak. Everything that has been done to Black people in America. And she's like, what are you talking about? He said, that was a siren that back in the day told us that we as Black people were now allowed to go into town and shop and whatever. We couldn't go to town. We couldn't do anything like that before noon on Saturday. And this woman shared this on TikTok. So many people were like, oh, I live in the South. They're just testing the sirens for like tornadoes and blah, 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 blah. She even did a video after that. Like, I just hope that none of you ever experience anything to where it's so traumatic and then people try to convince you that it didn't happen and it's not like that and it's not real. She's like, I believe my grandfather. He lived through it. Do not mistake what I am about to say as if there is any comparison to mine and my family's life, to anything that someone who is Black has had to endure and still enduring in this great American country. The things, my son's disabled, wheelchair, lots of other things. Ignorantly, I didn't really pay attention to the world of disabilities until I had to personally deal with it, which is part of what I'm saying. There have been so many instances where I don't want to say called out things, but made people aware of like certain things my son's had to endure, we've had to endure navigating the world of disabilities. And people have been like, oh, well, do you think they're doing that because it's actually this? It's probably not. Like, you're overreacting, basically. I'm like, I'm literally telling you our experience, like this, you didn't live it. We lived it. And you're telling me, are you telling me I'm lying? Like, I don't, what are we doing here? I can't imagine. Going and continuing to go through those type of traumas and have people be like, oh, that's not why they're doing it. That's not what they mean. They're giving you a compliment by saying how eloquently you speak, you know? Types of stuff like that. Yes, gaslighting. Lizzie, I saw your comment. Absolutely. So the research that people are pulling together for, yeah, don't ever tell a mom that they are overreacting. This lady has done follow-up videos like, okay, it's a tornado warning. We're testing it. Why do we have to test it every week? Does it not work? Or like every single week? Why are we testing it every week on a Saturday? Why are we testing it every week on a Saturday at noon? Why are we testing it every week on a Saturday at noon? That just happens to align with the stories of every elderly Black person. Not white people, because why would they admit? Why would your grandmother admit she did that, you know? And for anybody saying stuff was hundreds of years ago, it's not funny. My son is laughing. He's laughing at my noises, not what is being said. Please don't take that off the dresser. He's a little mischievous prankster. Yes, every Saturday at noon. I'm gonna have to go soon. Don't rip up Daddy's magazine. I will find it and share it. I know I've like liked it and commented on her videos on TikTok. I don't know if you're on there, but it's so, man. I have been afraid to say and do things on my channel because I don't want it to be an argumentative race channel, because or argumenting about race and about anything. He's rubbing a magazine. That is not a bodily noise. But, what do you see on there, Bubba? What's in there? I don't know. You have to tell me. I lost my train of thought. I'm afraid of having to use my energy blocking people. I don't want to argue with people. I'm not arguing about what reality is. I'm just explaining and, well, passing the message along of what reality is. I don't think I really have the luxury or shouldn't allow myself to sit in the luxury of that anymore, being able to decide whether or not I want to deal with that. I just think stupid people are stupid. I lived in, again, I grew up in the very dirty, deep South. I understand the culture that I grew up around. And I thought things. And it took years to go, huh, 1 in 3 aren't making 2. Let me find out for myself. Yeah, this is a kind. Thank you. I'm so sick of seeing people cry about things that happened to them and people re-victimizing them by arguing with them about its validity. And I have the luxury of being able to talk about it. And people would believe me more than they would someone speaking about the same thing with darker color. If I talk about school history facts, oh my gosh, I didn't know that happened. How horrible. People are stupid. So it's probably going to be more of that. And I have such conflict. Haven't watched it yet, but I've known about it, obviously. If you see, don't rip it up. The new Dahmer series. The reason I was excited about it coming out a year ago is because when I read articles, it was saying it was going to be from the perspective of the victims and showing how white privilege allowed Dahmer to continue to kill people. I wanted to call that out, to share that it is still happening, because police officer, just in the past